everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I have a whole stack of books here that I want to try to read during this quarantine if I can get my mental focus back. But it's a whole list of books here that I have for each mood that I've been pretty much going through. Definitely it's a mood. It's definitely a mood reading type of month, and probably the rest of the next couple months as well. Our country is in serious danger. Our world is in serious danger right now, and it's so sad to see these numbers coming in every day of what this virus is doing to our world. It's really scary, and luckily us book people, we have our books that we use as forms of escape where we could put our minds into something and not think of bad things, basically. So here's a nice stack of books for you. Also, maybe if you want a buddy read with me as well, please leave it in the comments down below. And yeah, so let's just get into it. So the first book that I have here, and this would be a reread for me, and that is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I can never say his last name. But this is a book that really teaches you about the spiritual path and the spiritual journey, and sometimes you just need a little bit of positivity and uplifting in your life, and that's what this book is. It's definitely an uplifting book. So many people turn to this author just when they're in, you know, a mental fog and just need something, need a story with a happy ending, and that's what The Alchemist is. This book will teach you a lot about life, and I think a lot of us need that right now. I think we all need that right now. So this is on my list. It's not that long. I believe Scribd has it, and you could probably still buy it on Amazon. I don't think they hunkered down on Amazon deliveries yet, but definitely recommend this book, and I'm going to be reading it, and I've been reading it throughout the last couple of days. Next, I have here a book that I never read, which I'm so shocked and still, like, I don't know why I never read it, and that is Cersei by Madeline Miller. This is a book about Greek mythology, about the story of Cersei. It's a different take on the story of Cersei. She is a witch, and she changes people into animals, I think, or I believe Cersei is the one that changed Medusa into, like, Medusa, so I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't really know much about Greek mythology except for the basic stuff that I learned in school, in elementary school. But anyway, I heard really great things about this book. This is a lot of people's favorite books, and I feel like I would love to get lost in this during what's going on in the world today. Next, I have here The Hunting Party, and this is by Lucy Foley. This is the Barnes & Noble book club pick for, I believe, March, which we're almost done with March, so definitely not on that path with that. But this is something that I really wanted to get into. I've been really into murder mysteries, lately crime stories I've been reading also recently. So The Hunting Party is definitely a mixture of both. There is a murder that happens. It's a group of friends that go up to a house, kind of like a reunion because they haven't seen each other in years, and they go up to a house in Scotland, and a murder happens in the house. So it's kind of like an Agatha Christie locked door type of mystery, and like whodunit, and it has to be someone that's in the house with them that did it. So definitely looking forward to picking this one up, and it sounds like a really fun, fast read to get into. Next, I have here The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher. This book kept like popping up for me, especially when I would go into Barnes & Noble in the Stephen King section. This book always was there because Kingfisher right next to King, and I would always be like, what is that? Like, I never heard of it. I didn't really hear much buzz about it, but I looked it up on Goodreads. It had decent reviews, and it's like a folklore style horror. A girl inherits her grandmother's house, and it's like in the woods, and like crazy, it's like a haunted ghost story crazy stuff unfolds, mystery. So I'm definitely looking forward into getting into this. This sounds pretty crazy for a mood when I'm not feeling down and not feeling dark vibes. I feel like I'll pick this one up. Next I have here Cassandra Clare's Chain of Gold. This is on my TBR. Yes, it is. I know I said I was done with Cassandra Clare, but I'm not done with her just yet because I really enjoyed the Infernal Devices series, and I didn't really love like Lady Midnight at all. I don't know why, because I feel like I love the cover of that book, but I just didn't really get into it. I think I like a lot more of like a historical vibe. I love the way she writes history and magic and the supernatural. So this book is high up on my TBR, especially since it has to do with Jem and Tessa and, you know, the Infernal Devices just in general. And this cover is just so pretty. Like, you really could fall into, you know, imprisonment with buying her books because all the covers that are designed for her books are just gorgeous. I love them. Next I have here another mystery that I started and didn't finish yet, and that is 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson. There was a lot of buzz about this book going around, and I've been wanting to read it. It's about 8 Perfect Murders. This bookseller, he wrote a blog post years ago saying, you know, the 8 perfect murders in novels, in murder mystery novels, and he stated them. And now there's murders happening in the area that he lives in, and they're happening according to his list that he created on this blog post. So he's being investigated. There's a lot of loose ends everywhere, and it's a pretty interesting story so far. So it's definitely going to be a quick one. It's only 288 pages, so I'm going to try to get back into this one when I'm done filming today, and I'll definitely let you guys know my thoughts on it. I read another one of Peter Swanson's books recently, The Kind Worth Killing, and I enjoyed it, only up to 50%, and then I just kind of, I read it, but I was just not happy with how the ending turned out, so I'm curious to see how well I do with this book. I know a lot of people really love this book, and before it was even out, there was just so much buzz going around about it. I guess a lot of people got ARCs for this book, so I can't wait to see how the ending turns out, and hopefully I like it way better. This will be my second Peter Swanson novel. I haven't read any of his other books, but if you suggest any of his other books, please let me know. I would love to get more into his writing. Next book I have is Things in Jars by Jess Kidd. This is another book that I started and did not finish. I'm very early on in this book, but it definitely dragged me in. The prologue is really, really cool. I don't really know what this book is about. I just know that it has to do with history. There's a murder mystery. There's supernatural aspects. There's magical realism. There's mermaids, possibly. There's things in jars. I would love to know what the things in jars are. I know it's a horror, and like a mystery horror type book, historical fiction type book. Stephen King recommended this book, and it was also on Book of the Month, so I was like, I'll pick it up. By the cover, you really can't tell what it's about, like totally, but the story seems so broad and so well thought out from what I've heard about it, and the buzz around it is really great. So I definitely want to get into this and lose myself into the story because it sounds amazing from what I've heard, even though like I still just don't get what it's about. I think it's one of those things where you just have to go in and read it for yourself. I have here my current read, the only book that I've been reading, and that is Sarah J. Maas's House of Earth and Blood, Crescent City. I've been loving this book so much. I really don't want to read anything else while I'm reading it. I'm currently halfway through. I think I'm on like page 400 now, which is halfway through. This is an 800-page book, which is insane. So much going on now. The first 200 pages was a little rough. I will say I don't remember much, so I might have to like refer back in the future, but so far it's really good. I love Hunt. I think he's dreamy, and this is definitely an adult book, like definitely an adult book. I can't wait to read more, and I'm also thinking about reading the Throne of Glass series because I'm really enjoying her writing in this. I love A Court of Thorns and Roses, and then the whole ACOTAR series I absolutely loved, but I never really got into Throne of Glass because I felt like it was a little young, the first book, when I read it, so I never readdressed and finished the series because I just wasn't that into it. But I heard that it does get a little bit more adult as the series goes on, so if you do recommend that series for me, let me know and I'll check it out, because we have plenty of time right now. I don't even know when I'm going back to work, so I have a lot of time to read. And yeah, self-quarantine's real. It's crazy. And finally, I would like to announce our April book club pick for the Constantly Reading Book Club, and that is The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. If you are a part of our club, I am announcing the book a little bit, like a week early, just because no one can get to stores and some places aren't delivering, and I don't know what the situation is, but I just want to make sure everyone is able to read along. So if you are someone who is not a part of the Constantly Reading Book Club, I will leave the links down below. I run the book club along with my friend Carol and along with my friend Sandra, and their links are down below as well, so make sure you follow them as well. But we will be reading this next month. It's a little shorter than what we've been reading. We're going to just kind of take a little break from Stephen King's heavier books for now. But yeah, if you want to join a book club, what better time now, because we are all self-quarantined in our homes and have no choice but to find things to do inside of our homes. Come join our book club. It is strictly Stephen King, but I am going to put up a buddy read section on the book club, so if anybody wants to read along with each other and buddy read some books, or buddy read along with our monthly books, I will put that discussion board on there. If it's not on there already, definitely check it out. We could all be a part of this community together, and it's so important. I don't know how people did it without social media before the self-quarantine. I mean, I know Justin's grandmother, she's 80, and she said that they did this when polio was a thing, that they had a self-quarantine and stay indoors and all that. So I can't imagine what it was like without the internet. At least we have each other. We're all over the globe and we're able to communicate. So that will be like our sanity to keep ourselves, you know, sane during this process, because being indoors could really suck for some people. I'm an introvert, so I can get used to being indoors and, you know, alone with my thoughts. Sometimes I do better that way than in a crowded environment, but it does get to everybody eventually. So at least we have each other, and we have this amazing thing called the internet to bring us all together during this really horrible, terrible time. So if you need to talk to somebody, if you are going through some crazy stuff right now, I'm here for you. You can DM me on Instagram or here in the comments, whatever you feel comfortable with. You know, we all should be there for each other. It's a trying time, but we will get through it. And please, everybody, just stay home. It's not worth the risk. It's not worth your health. And just enjoy your families if you can, if you're with your families. If you're not, enjoy your pets. Enjoy your books and enjoy TV. We have all of this technology to use to our benefit right now, so definitely use it and just trust that we will get through this, because we will. That's it. That's all I have for you guys today. These are the books that I'm planning on reading during my self-quarantine. It could change day to day by my mood, but right now these are the books that are high up on my TBR that I'd like to get to. They all seem really cool books. I feel like I'm gonna love them, and there's one for every single mood that I could possibly go through. So that's that. Let me know if you would like to buddy read any of these things, or if you are reading any of these books and you love them, you dislike them. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Just no spoilers, hold off on those. And if you like my channel, you want to see more from me, just like and subscribe down below, and I'll be talking to you guys soon. Bye!